All right, I'm here for DustUS's ongoing coverage of ESL Impact Dallas Finals, and I'm here with Snav, coach of Shimmer, coming off of a very tough loss against Nigma Galaxy. Snav, we've known each other for a while, right? I want to ask you something. You sort of seem to have popped out of the ether as the coach of Shimmer. How did you find yourself as the coach of this team?
Well, I'm currently dating Lisa, so I mainly just started out like when they first formed as a team. I was just helping, my girlfriend out, just like sitting in their scrims helping them because I have more experience, and then they ended up doing really well as a team. So I just ended up like as their actual coach for the LAN when they qualified.
And so, with that, obviously, you're by far and away the most experienced player on this team, being, having that ECL experience. How valuable is your ECL and advanced experience for this team?
I think it's really valuable. I think it's more valuable in online matches because I can actually talk in the middle of rounds and I can really help them out a lot. I think that's part of why they struggled against Nigma because I'm not giving input in the middle of rounds, so they have to come up with decisions by themselves. But I think my experience still helps them out on LAN because I did a lot of work like watching demos like against Nigma, and I had a really good idea of how they're going to play. But I think it just came down to them not it's their first LAN, so they kind of have nerves, and they just weren't hitting their shots. So I think that's what it came down to.
And, with that too, obviously, you're an active player at the same time that you're coaching. Has this given you sort of a change of perspective at all towards looking towards coaching how have you been enjoying being a coach? And is it something maybe when Timmerman wraps up that you'd be interested in doing more long term?
Well, it definitely made me realize how much a coach can help a team because my team, Timmerman, has never really had a coach. So I don't know. I guess I didn't realize how impactful they were, how much they could do for you. Since I can do so much for them, I can help them so much. And about coaching, eventually after I'm done playing, maybe I would, to be honest, because I've helped teams in the past, not actually coaching, but just just helping my friends with their lower level main intermediate teams. I've helped them out, and I find it fun, and I find coaching Shimmer fun. So maybe when I'm done playing, I would coach a team if any team wanted me. But yeah.
So I wanted to ask you too about this roster. I would say one of the more notable players in sort of terms of prestige on this roster is Empathy, who came off of EG Gold. Can you sort of walk me through how she is as a player, and also can you give us some insight in sort of if what happened with her with EG Gold, because they didn't really go into much detail about that.
I'm not really sure what happened with her on EG Gold, but about her as a player, I think she's kind of quiet, but I think she makes up for it a lot in her skill. She's by far the most skilled player on the team. She does so much for the team in terms of just getting opening kills and even securing rounds. I don't know. She does so much. You can tell by her stats, obviously. And yeah.
And so I wanted to take a moment too, now that I have you, to talk about Timmerman a bit. Timmerman has been sort of a mainstay team in the ECL, a frequent playoff contender. But this season, you guys ended up in relegation. What happened there?
What happened with that is, we started out the season, we picked up Jitter, as you know. I think there was an article on Dust 2 about that. And I don't really know what happened with that. After 2 games with them, 2 ECL matches, he just kind of lost his drive, I guess. He didn't want to play anymore. And that left us in a bad spot. We had to play with Kel, who, he just came off of playing Valorant for years and years. So he wasn't really up to speed with all the stuff in CS anymore. So it was kind of hard playing with him. It's not really his fault. It's just kind of an unfortunate situation.
And then, of course, after that, you started playing with Project 90. How did you? So something that is kind of a mystery to me a bit is sort of the Chinese emigre community that lives in North America. Playing. Can you tell us a little bit about Project 90? Because he's something of an enigma to the NA scene, from my perspective.
Yeah, I think Project 90 is really good. He has a lot of potential, but I don't know. The way we found him is he's just really good friends with Frankie. And I've known a Project 90 before Frankie. I just know he's just one of the best Chinese players playing in NA. But that's how we got him on the team, is because he's really good friends with Frankie. So yeah.
And with that, you guys are going to be playing relegation very soon. How do you feel about your chances of making out of relegation?
Well, obviously I'm very confident in relegation. We've been in playoffs 4 or 5 times. So obviously I'm very confident. I think there should be no chance we lose in that.
And then. So, now that you've sort of tasted the professional level as the coach of Shimmer, is this going to give you do you think this will give you a new perspective when you take it back to Timmerman in terms of any changes you'd want to implement, whether that's, more practicing, more strategic play, anything like that?
Yeah, I'd say so, because us in the past, it sort of comes down to the people we're playing with. Some people don't want to practice, some people don't want to put in a bunch of time, but I think the core of us, we do want to put in the time, and I don't know, this LAN definitely will impact my point of view on it. I want to put in more like practice and stuff on my own team, and eventually make it to like IAM Dallas, like the event going on here. That'd be awesome.
And with the we're sort of in a very difficult time in NA right now in terms of teams, especially like teams at your level, finding organizations. You were with Ironblood very briefly. Since then, how has the hunt for an org been going for you guys? Have you had any people who are interested at all?
We've had a few orgs that are interested, like lower level orgs though, so obviously we're not going to go through with that, but we haven't been like actively looking like that much because we've had a lot of roster struggles, so we don't really think a team's going to want to org, or an org is going to want a team with a bunch of like roster struggles, so we're trying to figure out our 5 and then like get ready for next season, then maybe look for an org.
All right. Hopefully the hunt for a new org goes well. Thank you so much for your time. Enjoy the rest of your event.